The firefighters union has been critical of the amount of firefighters being added. They want 40 full-time firefighters immediately added, saying, you know, the 10 announced won't move the needle enough for staffing and overtime, even arguing you're going to pay more in overtime than you would just on these salaries. So why not add 40 firefighters right away? What's the holdup or the holdback in that?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, we are adding more firefighters. We're adding 10 this year as to a resource pool to give our chief the ability to move people around and if someone calls in sick, to be able to, you know, backfill that. But we're also taking more of a systems approach to this. It's not just about adding more firefighters into the existing system, because if we just add more people into the same system without changing what's going on and trying to reduce the reasons that people are calling in sick, then I think we fail. And so we're tackling this challenge. We're going to add 40 firefighters over the next several years, but we're also at the same time we're investing in this budget in a wellness center for firefighters. We have about 100 firefighters who are off right now. And if we can get those people well again for their own sake, we want our employees to be healthy. If we can help them get well and then get some of them back to work, then we have people coming back to work on the front lines and don't have to add as many more people. At the same time, Maralee, we're also working on reducing, we have a plan to reduce the vacant and derelict buildings. So many of the fires that our firefighters are responding to are vacant and derelict buildings and properties. Those properties need to be converted into housing at a time when we need more housing. So if we can get those properties turned into housing again, it reduces the likelihood that they're catching fire, and and gets critical housing, at a time that we really need it. And so, and the final thing I will say on this is I've also called for a fourth emergency service, a mental health service, so that people who are in a mental health crisis, if it's not a safety issue, if it's not a public safety issue or a personal safety issue, we could send trained mental health workers instead of firefighters. Recently, earlier this month, I had a conversation with several firefighters. One of them, who's a senior firefighter, said, "Mayor, I'm tired of responding to mental health calls. I'm trained to be a firefighter. That's what I'm trained to do. I want to do that. I'll go to the mental health calls, but that's not my skill. That's not my training." And he's right. We need to get mental health workers to mental health calls.
Well, all of those are probably very key parts to, long-term solutions here. Those are going to take a while before you see the benefits. What about the issue of right now we're already so short-staffed and you're going to pay all this money in overtime? Why just 10? Why not 40?
Over the last few years, we've added many more firefighters as well. So it's not like we've added none and then suddenly this year we're only adding 10. We've added, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but we've added several firefighters in the last few years. In fact, I know that the fire department's operating budget has gone up 21% in the last 4 years alone. So we're making major investments in our fire paramedic service, and we're going to continue to make investments. But I think we have to be careful and strategic. To just add more people to a system that's not working, I think is a failure. It would be a failure and misguided. We have to work on the system at the same time we're adding more resources, and we are adding resources.
All right, let's talk infrastructure. In a second term, would we see shovels in the ground to widen Kenaston or extend Chief Peguis?
Well, right now in this budget, the 2026 budget, we have added $13 million on the Kenaston project to do the designs on that, which would include not just widening, but the Kenaston project is really important because there's several projects in that overall project. The bridges over the Assiniboine River have got to be replaced. There's only so many years of life left in them, and so we need to make that investment. That road, in fact, or those bridges take more traffic per day than any other section of street in Winnipeg. So we've got to replace the bridges. We have to replace the sewer underground. There's right now a single pipe. Under provincial legislation, we have to separate those pipes to keep raw diluted sewage out of the river. So that work has to be done. And as you know, there's a lot of development in the area with Naui Odina. And so that area, proposes to add 3,000 units of housing. That comes with land drainage issues as well, and therefore also, the need to widen the road. So $13 million is in this budget. We're making progress, and when you're planning and doing design work, that in fact is part of the project. So we've moved on that.
So ideally, if you have another 4-year mandate, would you like to see it begin?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You know, we're saying goodbye to 2025, looking ahead to 2026. What do you see as the most pressing issue facing the city?
A couple of, it won't be a surprise to people. One is the North End Water Pollution Control Center. The provincial and federal government have helped us, and they've helped fund the first and second phases. There are 3 phases. So really the goal is to get funding secured from the federal and provincial governments in the 3rd phase. It's critical because we have capacity issues there. We're going to run out of capacity in 2032. So we don't have a lot of time left. We've got to get that project, the funding secured and the project completed. So that's continues to be a pressing issue. More work on homelessness and encampments, more work on public safety is critical as well, and more work on the 4th emergency service to get, you know, relieve our firefighters, paramedics, and police officers for some of these calls. Last year, the police responded to 21,000 check well-being calls. Many of those calls didn't need a police officer to respond to. So we want to free up our police to do police work and make our city safer. We can do that by turning some of these calls over to other agencies like mental health agencies. And then finally, 2026. We
have to get used to saying that.
I know. I almost said 25 again. I want to thank motorists for their patience in 2025 with all the road construction.
It's still going on.
It's still going on, and buckle up, folks, because 2026 is going to be another major road construction year. But the public has told us that's what they want, and we know that's what's needed. We need good infrastructure. We're making the investment in the infrastructure.
All right, let's end on a fun note. We know one of the funnest things happening around the city right now is this snowplow naming contest. What are some of your favorites? People can vote on them still right now. Do you have any favorites? Not that we want you to sway the results.
No, I'm not swaying it. I didn't even. I scrolled across all the names. I didn't even click I didn't even vote, and they didn't come to. I like. Everyone loves Fred Penner.
Yes.
So Sled Penner, I think, is really catchy for all of us, you know, the children of every age. Adam Plowry, I like that one as well. Slosh Morrissey, there's some good ones with Nelt Stiegel. I mean, you know, some of our favorite athletes, you know, it's a play on their names. I think those are fun. So Winnipeggers are creative people, and you know, everybody has till December 31st to vote.
And we'll find out in the new year.
We will find out in the new year.
10 are being named?
12 of the big plows, so 12 of the big plows. And then we also have asked students to provide us one name for the team of sidewalks near snow clearing plows. And so the winning class, I'm going to host a pizza party at my office for the winning class that successfully names the snow plows that plow our sidewalks.
Well, sounds like a lot of fun. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you for coming in. It was great seeing you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you and your family, and to all the viewers as well.
Thank you.